Where's Stinky Steve?
It's too early to get an energy drink.
Wow.
And a Gatorade somewhere. It's too early to be up.
Did you bring a suitcase of salt?
Yes. Even at 5 in the morning, I can't go without a text or a call from you.
We driving your truck?
Hell no.
Mine's dirty. It's real dirty.
You can drive my truck.
I'll drive your truck.
Hey, y'all can't wear cat hats on camera.
What?
It's gonna mess your faces up.
Did you get the sauce?
No.
Are you kidding me? I told you, Travis. How many times did I say sauce this morning?
Tubbs was my idea. The logo was my design. The show was my idea.
I swear to God, you're wrong. Tubbs is my brainchild. Travis, you're lucky we'll let you have a piece of it.
I got to poop, man.
All right, you start.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We are shooting a web series.
A vlog.
A vlog.
I call it a vlog.
We're gonna do some traveling around South and North Carolina. Just taste a bunch of good food, source a bunch of good products for the restaurant, and just have a good time and watch Kyle act like an idiot.
And in the process, we're gonna, you'll learn a little bit more about us and how we got started, our history, and where we want to go, and what molds and shapes our ideas about food and the restaurant industry and life in general. We're 3 business partners. We're also best friends. So hopefully through all this, you'll get to enjoy our antics.
I don't know. I've always loved food, and I've always loved restaurants, and coming down to the South, I felt like it was my home.
They've given me this contraption.
I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. As Kyle likes to say, Southern Canada. And I'm the resident Yankee of the Tubbs crew.
His first seafood was walleye.
Yep.
And pike.
Walleye and pike.
And he put sugar in his grit.
I met these guys at monster.com, and we kind of hit it off, and our love of food and just love of the restaurant industry brought us all together. I originally was just investing in the company, but somehow I got dragged into working with them every single day, and I regret it every single day. I love it, and we have a good time. Steve's a phenomenal chef, and Kyle, we're not sure what he does, but he's there for the most part, and I help operate the restaurant, and it all seems to come together pretty easily. It's good.
Alright guys, Kyle Hardy. We're in Murrells, Inlet, South Carolina, where it all started. We're with Captain Todd. You can check him out at jetboatride.com, and we about to cut some ass. Right down from here is Captain Dave's Dockside, where Steve and I first met. I was driving a 1996 white Lincoln Town car given to me by my grandma, Gammy, rest in peace. We both waited tables at Captain Dave's, and I didn't like Steve at first. He had a very pretentious attitude, and he constantly smelled of garlic. That's how he got his nickname, Stinky Steve. And we were reintroduced to each other about 13, 14 years later, and I didn't remember him, so we had to get through the whole I thought he stunk and I didn't like him again phase. This is before Travis. We call this PT. Yeah. Is that right? No.
Pre-Travis.
Pre-Travis.
Yeah.
This was pre-Travis. It developed into a beautiful bromance, and we were happily business partners for life. So what we have here is Bubba. Bubba is the resident mayor of Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. Bubba is world famous, and we're gonna meet Bubba. But right now, Bubba is feeding his pet goats on the island.
I don't even know how the goats got on that island. Don't you know a few stories about it?
Robotic goats, they're actually not alive, they're just machines. Sea goats, they actually swam over there.
I heard that some rich investors came down here from Bahamas and we're gonna start a goat inspired theme park.
Maybe.
That's the one I heard too.
Okay.
Could be.
They could be like Nazi goats.
Yeah.
They were dropped off by a German U-boat.
In the Battle of Murrells Inlet?
Battle of Murrells Inlet.
World War II?
In World War II, 1978. Those goats stay on the island 365 days a year, and Bubba tends to them. You have Bubba's Love Shack, and you also have a statue of Bubba behind you. People love Bubba. You're gonna love Bubba. Tell us how the goats got on the island, Bubba.
All the tourists ask that
Well, if you
question.
see the difference, they keep the island clean.
Yeah.
But years ago, the local kids used to go on the very far end. They used to grow their happy package.
The happy cabbage?
The happy cabbage. But you know, the tourists and the local people love them.
Your drink still Jaeger?
No, I got off the Jaeger because I went to sleep one night and almost drowned. My new drink now is a Bud Light and a Grand Marnier.
Oh, okay.
And I call that a 1-in-1.
1-in-1?
1-in-1, you're about to find out.
Cheers, everyone. Grand Marnier and Bud Light.
Grandma and Bud Light? I dig it.
Some of my influence in the kitchen, I mean, naturally goes back to my mom. You know, she has been cooking. She was the youngest of 10 in an old Sicilian household, and so they were always cooking, you know, fresh, homemade sauces from fresh garden veggies that my grandmother would grow in the backyard. And so I grew up watching her cook, and I'm still her biggest critic. You know, I never held any punches. It's kind of an asshole move, you know, looking back on it, but I think that she's gotten better, and it helped me get better just from the relationship that we have, talking about food and things like that. But I probably don't, to her face, give her the credit she's due. She's an awesome chef, and she knows it, so she doesn't need me to tell her. My biggest influences are just, you know, traveling around and you know, really doing research on the areas and going to good restaurants. So a lot of the influences for the menu at Tubbs, you know, came from not only Murrells Inlet but Charleston. So when we were developing the concept from Tubbs, we made a few trips down to Charleston and just tried some awesome food. It's more places and concepts than actual chefs.
Well, we made it to Myrtle. Dirty Myrtle. What y'all want to do? Let's get the hell out of here.
Shaga. Damn it.
Come here. Take your glasses off. Put your phone down. All right, stop. All right, so as we travel north.
Cut!
All right, y'all, so we're about to try some Calabash style seafood. And to me, Calabash seafood is, I think of, you know, a good crisp fry, fresh seafood, and it's shaped and molded a lot of what we do at our restaurant, Tubbs. I want a regular.
Okay. You want everything?
Yep.
Anything else for you, sir?
And here you'll find us creek shrimp again, man. That's what people want when they want Calabash style
Some
seafood.
people ask for oysters, you know, a little under fried, a little undercooked, and not everybody, you know, likes them that way, but some people like them extra crispy, but a lot of people prefer that they are cooked like this.
I think I was hungry, so I ate it. Come on. At last, our adventures have brought us to Krabby Odd Waters. Bill's Seafood. We're here in Sunset Beach. My grandpa's place, the paterfamilias. I'm the loin from which his fruits came from, or vice versa. The Atlantic blue crab. Beautiful specimen. He's kind of pissed off. Aside from eating them, you can put them to sleep. Rub them. Rub them. And you rock him to sleep. He's asleep. He won't mess with you. Sunset Beach is where it all started. I mean, my grandfather's had a restaurant here and a seafood market here for 40 plus years. Papa Joe, Joe Pede, or Bill is people that don't know him, that like to think that they know him, call him. He's 80 years old and still works every day of his damn life. I mean, my first experiences with the beach and seafood, I mean, this is where it all comes from. I thought my destiny was to be here running this place and owning this place, and it turns out I had a different road. And so when Steve and Travis and I first had this idea, hey, let's bring fresh seafood to Florence, you know, Papa Joe said he'd do whatever he could. So we would come up here and buy stuff fresh directly from him, and he'd have it ready for us, or we'd have to clean it ourselves, or if he'd have a bunch of fresh shrimp coming in, we'd come up here and box shrimp. And I mean, if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have Tubbs wouldn't exist.